guys, this is Mrs. Payne, and today we're going to be looking at our math learning objective of I can solve linear systems of equations by using substitution. And so before our last video, we were solving linear equations. Now we're solving linear systems of equations. And a system of equation is just something, again, this is stuff you learned last year, when you have two equations, okay? So you have an x and a y that you have to solve for. So, our steps for solving a linear system using substitution is first, solve an equation for one variable. So you should have at least one of your equations just say y equals or just say x equals. Number two, so this is y equals or x equals, right? Any one equation like that. Number two, substitute the expression into the other equation. Step three, solve the equation. That's just like what we were doing in our last MLO, right? Solving the equation. And then our last step is to substitute to find the other variable. Okay? So, looking at an example. Right? Example 1 says y equals -3 and x plus y equals 7. So I already have this y equals part. That's that first step that we're going to get one on my side. Most of the equations we're going to be looking at have that already. So you will rarely need to do that first step. At least in the problems we're going to be looking at. Number two, substitute the expression into the other equation. So this is a y equals. So I look at my other equation. I'm going to skip the y, and I'm just going to put parentheses instead. Okay. And inside those parentheses, I'm going to put what y is equal to. It's not going to put y, and I know y is -3. So this is really saying x, well, plus or -3 is the same as -3 equals 7. Now I'm going to solve this equation. So we've done a whole bunch of solving in our last MLO. So I just need to do the opposite, add 3. 7 plus 3 is x. Our last step would be to substitute your answer to find the other variable. This first example is a little different though, because it gave us the answer for y. Right? Y isn't equal to expression. Y is -3. So x is 7, y is -3. We're always going to write our answer, and a point. If I can stop. My answer as a point, and by point we mean x, y. So my x here is 7, and my y was -3. That is my answer for example 1, 7, -3. Looking at example 2, I have y equals x plus 3 and y equals 3x minus 11. Again, I already have something equal to y. So, that's my first step. My second step, substitute the expression into the other equation. Again, I have a y equals, so where this y is, I'm just going to put parentheses, equals 3x minus 11. So I rewrote that equation, the second equation exactly, except for the y, is that other problem. So then, x plus 3 equals 3x minus 11. If there's nothing to distribute, I'm just going to rewrite it without the parentheses. So x plus 3 equals 3x minus 11. I'm not multiplying anything in here. Our next step is to solve the equation. So again, we are used to solving. So in order to solve, I'm going to subtract 3x to move it to the other side. Remember, we want all variables on one side. So x minus 3x, right? That's really 1 minus 3. 1 minus 3 is -2x plus 3 equals 3x minus 3x cancels out. negative 11. Then I have plus 3 and minus 11. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Negative 2x, and those cancel out, equals negative 11 minus 3 is negative 14. My last step to solve for x is divide by negative 2. Negative 14, negative 2 is, negative 14 divided by negative 2 is positive 7. Okay. So x equals 7. Now, in this problem, I don't know what y is. I just know that it's equal to x plus 3. So I'm going to do y equals, now I know what x is. So I'm going to substitute in for x. And we just found that x is 7, so y equals 7 plus 3, right? This is coming from this equation here. 7 plus 3 is, and again, this is great to know x equals 7 and y equals 10, so we always write our final answer as a point. The point 7, 10. All right, we're going to go on to our next example, which is on the next page. So go ahead and flip your page. So same type of thing. Right, our first step, get 1 equals to y equals or x equals. We have our y equals. Our next step is to substitute into the other equation. Again, it's y equals, I'm going to substitute into the y. So that's 3x plus, instead of that y, I'm going to put parentheses. Okay. And inside of those parentheses, right, y is equal to this 2x minus 5. There's nothing to distribute here, so I just have 3x plus 2x minus 5 equals negative 10. Our next step in solving is to see if you have anything that has like terms on the same side of the equation. If you look here, I have a 3x and a 2x on this side of this equation. 3 plus 2 is 5x. Then minus 5 equals negative 10. Okay, so all my variables on the left side, all my coefficients on the right side. So I need to add 5. So 5x equals negative 10 plus 5 is negative 5. Then last step, divide everything by 5. X equals negative 5 divided by 5 is negative 1. And that part is just doing what we did in our last envelope. A lot of these things will build on top of each other. Then I need to plug it back into this equation. Y equals 2 times something minus 5. That something is negative 1. It is helpful to try and practice some of your mental math, but you can also plug things into a calculator. I can plug this exactly how it looks into my calculator. But again, practice your mental math. 2 times negative 1 is simply negative 2. And then minus 5, well, negative 2 minus 5 would be negative 7. So I have x equals negative 1 and y equals negative 7. Again, we like to write these as a point. So I have negative 1, negative 7. Alright, last problem. Same type of thing. I already have the y equals. I don't have to worry about that step. So I'm just going to plug it in here. I have 2x minus 3. That y is just the blank equals negative 14. I am plugging in this x plus 4. So the first thing I have to do is distribute this -3. Make sure you're distributing it with that minus sign. It's not just distributing a 3, it's distributing a -3. So I have 2x minus 3x. -3 times 4 is -12 equals -14. All right, now I'm just solving my equation. I have a 2x and a -3x. 2x minus 3x is -1x. Minus 12 equals -14. My variable, my constant, I'm going to add 12 to both sides. I have -1x equals -14 plus 12 is -2. Divide both sides by -1. X equals 2. Then I just have to plug that into my first equation. Y equals, again, we're plugging in for that x, so instead of x, I'm going to put parentheses, plus 4. Inside that parentheses goes the 2 that we just found. Like I said, practice your mental math, but you can use a calculator. So y equals 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. So now I know my x and my y, so I can write that point. This point is. So that is our review for solving systems of equations. Go ahead and start working on review activity number 3.